The old Irish goodbye. Fibonacci sequence.
If you're hearing our voices, that means it's time for It's This Meets That. Two friends who know nothing about anything, talk about bad movies. I'm Russ.
And I'm Jared.
So last week, we didn't watch. Last week was a trailer trash episode where we didn't watch the non-existent trailer of this movie we're doing right now, Alien Warfare, as hopefully all of our long-time listeners.
Yeah.
We have analytics. We know how many are listening. So all 5 of you, we know you did or did not listen. So
shout out to Thais, Elizabeth, Brady, Sam,
maybe Rob a little bit.
And no, definitely not Rob.
No,
I'm out on Rob at this point.
Yeah, we're calling you out, Rob.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all 6 of them.
This is good. Yeah. If you want to be featured in our next time we yell at our fans, email us at it's thismeetsthat@gmail.com.
New segment called where we turn on our fans. It's happening.
Yeah, we love you. So Alien Warfare, in case you don't remember, is about a team of Navy SEALs investigates a mysterious science outpost only to have to combat a squad of formidable, not homicidal, well, semi-homicidal alien soldiers.
That is also like the toughest sentences to read.
Thank you.
No, it's not right.
Yeah, I did a good job. You're welcome.
You did a great job. You always do. This is why I give it to you, because that's a tough sentence to read. I think only to have to. So like only to have to.
Only to have to.
Like this podcast, only if we have to.
Yeah, the writers of this movie were just as good as whoever wrote the description of the movie.
All right, since there was really no trailer trash was we kind of winged it a bit. But we did set some expectations based on things we read, descriptions, and the cover art of the movie poster.
Right.
What do you, after seeing this movie?
Yeah, my expectations were met. They were perfectly met. I wanted Star Wars. I got Star Wars.
Mine were almost met. I was thinking Starship Troopers, and I definitely did. No, I didn't get that at all.
No, not even close.
Not even close. You didn't even get close to Star Wars either. So stop lying to all 5 of our listeners. I apologize, Rob, Brady, Matt, Chris, on Jared's behalf.
Yeah, Elizabeth, Thais, you forgot.
Thais, yes. All of you, I apologize.
Yeah, I hate this movie. I wouldn't recommend this to anyone. A lot of times, I like to think that the movies that we watch are fun and enjoyable. Usually, I'll get a chuckle or two. This one, I think I can only count a single chuckle or two.
I had 2. Well, actually, no, I laughed more because I thought it was a comedy. It's not a comedy.
It's not a comedy. I hate this movie. Let's get into it.
Let's get ready. Let's cruise through this thing. All right. So quick info. Not a lot to tell you here. So director Jeremiah Jones it hasn't done much. Bunch of shorts, and this is his first feature. Actors Clayton Snyder, David Meadows,
Lizzie McGuire fan.
Clayton Snyder of Lizzie McGuire fame. David B. Meadows, he was a former Navy SEAL, which you would think would give us a little credibility here.
You think he'd be good at being a Navy SEAL?
Anyways, move on. Daniel Washington, Scott
famous for Smilf.
What's that?
Smilf?
Yeah,
you remember Smilf when that came out?
No.
Oh, he's in that.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. Isn't that the one about, doesn't it take place in Southie or something?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Is he in that?
A Boston, yeah, he's in that. And the Ghostbusters reboot.
I saw that listed on his credentials there.
Yeah, he's probably the most famous guy in the whole movie.
Daniel Washington, Scott C. Rowe, and hopefully I get it right, Larissa Andrade.
I don't know. Andrade, probably. We're gonna screw it up.
We're terrible. Whatever. We apologize, Larissa.
Apologies to our Brazilian listeners.
Larissa, if you're listening,
send us an email.
It's thismeets@gmail.com. Screenwritten by, there's 3 screenwriters in this, which
Remarkable. 3 people said this was a good idea.
Dave Baker, Nathan Zobel, and Ben Bailey. Again,
Fuck you.
What's that?
I said, fuck you.
Right for the jugular. Yeah, that's fair. Okay. Just keep going. Just keep doing it.
Don't stop. Please stop. Don't keep going.
Don't keep going. Stop what you've done. Usually we do production, box office numbers. This didn't go to any box office whatsoever. Not even to our favorite place, the Emiratis. Didn't go there. I couldn't find any numbers about how much it costs. This is usually where we kind of make up numbers, which is fun. How much do you think this movie cost?
At least $300.
I was gonna say 4 chicken parms.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We should do it based on number of chicken parms.
What's the going rate of chicken parm these days? Like
a good one, like $9.
No, wait, we're talking about subs, or are we talking about pasta?
Yeah, no. Oh, like a sub, like a sandwich, like lunchtime, $10.
Okay, yeah, $10, sure. $40. Yeah, this movie was terrible.
Yeah, I mean it's
a new low. This is the new worst movie we've seen.
It's I think it's on par with in terms of like production quality, it's probably on par with Robot Riot.
Disagree. I think Robot Riot had a significantly higher budget.
7 chicken parms.
At least 7 chicken parms. You know how many CGI robots they had in this? And
That's actually true.
In this one, the aliens were wearing bad armor. We never got to see their ship really, except at the end for 1 second.
Yeah, and the oven mitts. There weren't oven mitts.
The movie's called Alien Warfare. I wanted Alien Warfare.
There was neither one of those two things, really.
No, the aliens were barely in this movie.
It's like Rhode Island, right?
Yes.
It's neither a road or an island. There was no alien or warfare in this movie.
Exactly.
All right, so that's all that stuff. What's your Hollywood pitch for this?
All right. So this one took me a bit. One, I'm thinking Arrival. So Arrival is maybe my favorite movie of, what year did that come out? 2019, 2018?
2018.
When was the last time we were allowed to go to the movies? Regardless.
Who knows? Whatever.
Arrival was my favorite movie I saw in theaters that year, the year that it came out. I love Arrival. I've seen it like 3 times now.
Own it. It's fucking fantastic. Yeah.
Fantastic movie.
Yeah.
And the reason why it is that is because Isabella at one point, for some reason, inexplicably, gets obsessed with learning about their language. It doesn't become important really until about the very end, maybe for 1 second. But once she realizes the alien language is written in a spiral, her quote just makes me so happy. It's the perfect language. So this movie is really Arrival. It's all about communication with aliens and the things that we can learn from them. Meets Return of the King, right? One, that movie was a slog in a good way. I love Return of the King. But
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm sorry, I interrupt you. I actually, for some odd reason, when I read yours, I was like, Return of the King. I had Mummy Returns in my head. I don't know why.
Oh, interesting.
And when you were just like Lord of the Rings, I was like, oh,
no,
twist. Yeah. Okay, yeah, you got me. All right, go ahead. Keep going.
Great movie, Return of the King. However, it's like over 4 hours long, and this movie, even though it's maybe the shortest movie we've covered so far, it's
hour
only
hour and 28 minutes.
Yeah, real short. It felt like 4 hours. Like there were so many times where I was like, "Oh, you could have cut this out, and this would have been the same movie." No, nothing mattered. Nothing made sense. And
furthermore,
Return of the King, all about returning something, not the king, but returning the ring to the volcano, right? This movie is about returning like a person to the aliens. So
is it a person?
Yeah. Well, an alien person. We're all people.
Spoilers, by the way. Oh, we forgot. Yeah, spoilers from this point.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Don't watch this movie.
Don't
please.
watch this.
If you already did because of last week, I'm so sorry.
It's wintertime. Go shovel some snow for an hour or two. Do something else. Yeah, right.
do anything else.
Throw snowballs at people who are shoveling snow. Whatever. Do something else.
Ideally.
My pitch. I don't think I'm gonna explain it too much. It's Predator meets ET.
Sure. Whatever you say, bud.
I had to say it really fast because I couldn't say it with a straight face. Because
yeah, 2 great movies. Just like mine, 2 great movies.
Yes, but that's where we're here. We're just pitching it.
Yeah.
Do you want me to sell you more on why it's that, or do you want to we'll just?
It's up to you. I would love to see Predator meets ET. That sounds fun.
That right?
I'm assuming it's mostly candy based, like Arnold Schwarzenegger eating Reese's Pieces or something.
What?
No, isn't that what ET's about? Eating Reese's Pieces?
What? No. Have you seen ET?
No, just kidding. Of course, I've seen ET.
I don't think you have. You saw the ad for Comcast for ET.
Yeah, shout out to Reese's Pieces if you want to sponsor us. This sucks. All right. Let's talk about fast facts.
Yeah, let's keep it moving here. So fast facts, yeah. Not many. So we do.
Yeah, start with this one.
We're gonna go easy here. So right off the bat, IMDb is really fun. We've explored it quite extensively now in all of our episodes that we've done.
Sure.
And it's definitely like it's just a Wikipedia, like, and it feels like anyone can submit, and just that's it. First fast fact that's listed. There's only 2 on the IMDb page. The first one is that it's too funny. All the actors in this movie hated it.
Yeah, not surprising.
Yeah, that's. I feel the same way. I don't know if that's actually true. I feel like someone just wrote that, and that's just what it is.
Totally possible.
Other fast fact: David B. Meadows. He was a former Navy SEAL, and the way it's written on IMDb is funny. It's like, oh, David B. Meadows is a former Navy SEAL turned classically trained actor. Yeah. Thanks, Mom, for submitting that.
Yep. I always phrase my biography that way. I mean, what a respectable career turned into this. Yeah, I would have stayed a Navy SEAL if I had already made it that far.
Yeah, right. Like that's way, yeah.
Yeah, his acting not as good as I'm assuming his Navy SEAling is.
I'm hoping his Navy SEAling was better than his acting.
Well, so the last fast fact here.
I'm going to let you lead this charge here because I'm going to let you lead how far we go with this.
All right. And here's where it gets crazy. If you're a longtime listener, that Russ and I are big into money laundering schemes within
love money laundering schemes.
Within indie Hollywood productions, right?
Hey, if anyone wants to launder money through this podcast, let us know.
These are your guys. Yeah, exactly. If you want us to launder money for you, send us an email. It's thismeansthat@gmail.com.
Yep.
So
our PayPal is, our Venmo is.
This movie, unlike a lot of movies we've seen, only had 2 production studios associated with it.
Yep. And everything for the most part looks pretty, small group. Like there's like 10 producers attached to it, which is as we're looking, pretty average number. 2 production companies. That's it.
On the up and up. Yeah.
Up on the up and up so far. So good.
But when
big butt.
Yeah, big butt.
Did I just make you say that? Yes, I did.
Yeah, sorry. Shout out to big butts everywhere.
If you want to be in the episode. All right, serious face. Come on.
Serious face. Hollywood Media Bridge is one of the studios, and Hollywood Media Bridge is not what you think it is. If you go to their website, you'll find out.
Or is
our friend here, Philip Goldfein, is running some kind of wacky multi-level marketing scheme where he will tell you how to accomplish anything if you pay him $5,000.
Yep. That's, by the way, that's marked down from $8,000 from the very convincing number of $79.95.
Yeah, a bargain at any price.
It's down to $49.95. Does that work once you get past a certain number? The 5, I know, like the 5 and 0. Like I understand like how that, like once you get past a certain number, that doesn't work anymore.
I don't think so.
It's like if it's like $39.95 or like $49.95, sure. But once you get to like thousands, it's like, yeah, I'm paying you $5,000.
Yeah, especially when your website is like block text on plain colors. Everything's like a weird salmon pink. We can't gloss over this, I don't think.
No.
Accomplish Anything event is apparently the side scheme to Hollywood Media Bridge production studio here because he's got a lot of movies. He's done all kinds of like he was an executive producer on The Mask.
So actually, I don't know if that's technically true.
I don't know. I believe it. He says it on the website, so it must be true.
No, I don't think that's true. I think actually all this says, now I'm reading this, is that he was just an executive at the studio at the time that the movie The Mask came out.
Yeah,
saying after serving as an executive on such studio titles, why studio is capitalized here doesn't make any sense. Such studio titles as The Mask and Disturbing Behavior.
That's the offensive thing to point out, Russ, is the capitalization. Nothing else about this is bad.
Well, no, that pisses me off because like if you're gonna lie to everyone, be fucking grammatically correct. After serving as an executive on such studio titles as The Mask, like that means nothing. It's like you and I being like, yeah, after us serving as executives and I don't know anything, just make it up.
I worked at an internet company the same time that Google tripled their profits.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I hate this. I hate all of this. This guy is the biggest scam going, and I'm here for it.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not a fan at all. We dove a little deep here.
We watched some video testimonials from his customers who paid for this class. He changed all their lives.
I feel so bad for them.
Yes.
This actually makes me sad. Like it's on their Facebook page and we're scrolling through and it's like, first of all, they take a photo of like a group photo. So there's this Accomplish Anything and they're all there and they're in front of like,
the logo is incredible on its own.
But they take a photo of the group in front of Spielberg movies and put that as like their background photo for the page.
Yeah, you're
trying to make it seem like you're tied to these three movies. You're not tied to these movies. Stop. Like
he definitely worked in movies when Jurassic Park was a movie.
It's like
for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's one of the studios. The other studio, possibly shadier, in that it's involved with Steven Seagal, who, Russia's favorite agent over here.
Yeah.
Not a Steven Seagal fan.
You're not.
No, I'm not.
I'm not. I mean, I was when I was younger, like his early 90s Steven Seagal. I was like, all right, this is cheesy action, but it was like.
He was still a garbage person then.
Well, yeah, but I was a kid. I was like 10 or 12 watching his shitty movies. I didn't know. Like, I don't care about what he is. Like, he makes stupid action movies. All right.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Now that we can evaluate him as a person.
Yes, now that I know something about, well, I know nothing, but, now that I know at least an idea, Jean-Claude Van Damme was definitely the better action movie star of the time.
Yeah, no doubt. If you know anything about Jean-Claude Van Damme doing anything wrong, please send us an email.
Don't ruin my childhood, please.
But we know Steven Seagal is a bastard.
By the way, Steven Seagal, what we do is we usually insult the people we invite on the show. But if you want to come on the show, hit us up at itsthismeatsat@gmail.com.
Yeah, I don't want him on the show.
No? Would you take Mel Gibson over Steven Seagal?
No.
All right, so that means you would take Steven Seagal on the show. Anyways, so Action House Pictures, they've produced like 7 movies, 8 movies, whatever. All of them have been 90% of them have been Steven Seagal movies. The other one was Alien Warfare, the one we're about to talk about. And then there's a sneaky one in here, Alpha Code, with Denise Richards and Randy Couture.
I don't know anything about this.
Yeah, this we might have a new list of movies we're going to watch. 2021, we'll let you know. Anyways, so those are our 2 production companies. We got a little sidetracked with that. It is
2021 now, Russ. When this episode's coming out.
Well, yeah. You can still say 2021 while you're in the year.
Nope.
Damn it. I gotta cut all this out.
Don't fix this.
It's fine. None of it was good anyways. So we have a what is it? Marketing. What's the scheme called? Marketing down. What is it called?
Multi-level, yeah, marketing down, marketing on down with Russ. No, multi-level marketing, pyramid scheme, whatever you want to call it, Ponzi scheme. They're all the kind of same.
Yeah, I mean, and the logo is pretty much a pyramid. The mountains.
Yes. Well, it's an upside down funnel, Russ, is what. It's the reverse funnel model.
All right, so that's that.
Yeah.
We can't let production companies get away with.
No, this movie sucks.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on from that. Let's get out of that. Let's get out of
let's start talking about the movie.
Yeah.
So we're off to a great start, in my opinion.
Fantastic start. Are you kidding me? This is probably one of our best starts ever.
The asteroid. No, I'm talking about the asteroid, the movie.
Oh, I was thinking about the episode. Yeah. Oh, yeah, the movie. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, we're talking about the movie now, Russ.
Okay. So spoilers from this point on, if you really care.
Yeah, spoilers from 20 minutes ago.
Yeah. If you passed out at the wheel and you just woke up, hope you're okay. But spoilers from this point on.
Yeah. So we're zooming in on an asteroid going around the planet. I think this is still like in the sequence of the credits, but
yes,
it's also, I think I take it as part of the movie because there is a thing that crashes into Earth from.
Oh, it's totally
space.
part of the movie. And I thought it was the opening to like a Planet series on Netflix or something.
Yeah. And like an asteroid that size would definitely do actual substantial damage. Like,
yes. Like, I think dinosaurs were killed.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. At the very least.
Sorry, we didn't fact check this, but I'm pretty sure dinosaurs were.
No, dinosaurs were definitely killed by an asteroid.
They were decimated.
Yeah. And at the very least, we're talking probably thousands of acres of forest.
Not entirely. Birds are dinosaurs. But anyways, keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, birds are dinosaurs. We all know that.
We all know that.
But like, immediately I'm upset. Nothing here makes sense. I thought that this would be connected to something else, and then never mind. Like, there are no transitions in this movie. No. I apologize in advance, dear listener, because we're going to jump around a lot inevitably.
Like I actually would throw out there this might be one of the more linear films we've watched, though.
I don't know, because like
it doesn't really jump. I don't think it jumps around. It's pretty straightforward. Like it just kind of like moves in a straight line. And there's no, I don't think it's that bad. But we're gonna make it bad because we're trying to remember how it played out.
Right. Well, and there's a lot of splitting into teams, and so like there's a lot of things that are happening with two people. Yeah. And like we're splitting around different scenes a lot.
Yeah, that's true because everyone makes the same mistake. Like let's split up because splitting up is never the right thing to do. But
right.
But yeah, anyways, like this opening animation it looks like it should be like the opening for like this is the planets. Thing on like Netflix or whatever.
I would totally watch that.
Yeah, I definitely would. And then we get the Alien Warfare title. Pretty much looks like it was made by someone's nephew on the crew with word art.
Yep.
I threw it out that. And then we're in Los Angeles, California.
Yeah, we're back at a house and like a really nice looking house.
Yeah. That's it. That's it.
Well, and we come in. So we then go inside the house and we're looking at our hero, Chris here.
Oh, thank God we're inside the house now.
Yeah, I'm not going to describe the house for us. It's a normal house.
No, but I'm just, yeah.
So we're inside now.
Don't you do that to me. So we're inside. Before we were outside the house. Now we're inside the house.
Oh
boy, this is going to be a long episode.
Yeah, go ahead, buddy. It sounds like you got this one.
I don't know. You got it. Go for it. We're inside the house. Go ahead.
So Chris is on the phone all of a sudden.
Do you know do you know that it's his name?
No, we have no idea who this person is, but
all right.
I'm telling the listeners this is Chris.
Okay.
It's our former Navy SEAL here, the actual guy with any kind of experience.
Yep.
Living this, which I did not know going into this movie. Really, like I looked it up and I was like, no way, this guy's a Navy SEAL. And then when I watched the movie, I also said, there's no way this guy's a Navy SEAL. Just the way that he talks, the way
Did
Unless,
he like try out and didn't make the team? That's what I don't know. Is there tryouts? Like, yeah, you got to be able to breathe underwater for like over like at least 30 seconds.
yeah, we
Maybe
know that.
he just went and signed up and then couldn't do the underwater thing. Do you still get the?
Yeah, you get a participation trophy. No, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
I know.
But regardless, he's bad at being a Navy SEAL, or so it seems in this movie. Yeah, I blame the writers for all of this. I
Yes.
don't blame you, David B. Meadows.
Nope. And yeah, aka Chris Evans, bearded stunt double.
Whose name is Chris in the movie. So,
oh yeah, that works out perfect.
I'm kind of happy about how the phone call goes because it seems like it's slightly more normal than a usual phone call. Like at the beginning, he answers the phone and he's like, "Oh, hey, who is this?" And he's like, "Oh, it's you, my boss." And it's a normal phone call.
Yeah.
I don't know why he hates Mike. He's talking a lot about this guy, Mike.
Yep.
Unclear why he hates him so far. He's going to be there. He's got to be at a place tomorrow at 1300 hours. So we end up in a war zone.
Yes, we had a flashback. We snap back, apparently. Snap back.
Yep.
Flashback. Snap back. Whatever.
Mm-hmm. And out of nowhere, they're just like shooting people left and right, which I guess they're enemy combatants, but at the same time, like they're in an open field. There's nowhere for them to be concealed. And they seem like they're maybe 30 feet away and they just shoot these people.
Yeah. And there's two guys.
Took it.
Yeah. There's like two guys who are in front of a building protecting it and they sneak in along the side. And there's like the one shot where like the gun just kind of pokes out to the side. It's like, is that guy like hiding or is he just an open field? And these two guys can't see him.
Yeah. And the gun sounds are great. Like instead of being any kind of gun sound, like there's a lot of unrealistic movie gun sounds, right? Where, silencers are a thing. That's not really a thing. Like you can have a suppressor on a gun, but it's still going to be loud as hell. Yeah, but the guns in this movie sound like potato cannons, and that's what I love them most. Like it's all like the whip. You're like, wait, bullets don't sound like that.
What is going on? Yeah, so this is a flashback, but it's kind of weird because like the way they do it doesn't really feel like a flashback. But yeah. Right. So they kill these two guys on the outside.
Getting into this house, they're trying to raid some kind of terrorist compound, apparently.
Yeah, and we'll skip over why it's so obviously a terrorist compound because it's really
terrible.
Bad. It's terrible at like.
And this is where I got a couple of complaints about the dialogue, right? So they come up, they dismantle all of the guards. They get into the main room where we see our two hostages.
Yes.
We've got some guy and his presumed wife, and they're our main enemy here. What's his name? Mulvadi?
Yeah, sure.
Something like that.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm assuming at this point this guy is like the main enemy of this movie. Like I was like, oh, this guy's going to be an important character. Like it seems like they're making him into a big deal. The guy who's a hostage, he's talking about how, they need to let him go, and Moldavi, whatever his name is saying, "I'm no fool. You're too important to the government." And I was like, wait a second, what government? Because a second ago they were talking about how the prime minister wouldn't allow this. And I think these guys are U.S. Navy SEALs, and we don't have a prime minister. So I'm like, what country are these guys from?
Like, did the U.S. send in like a little, don't worry about it, UK, we'll take care of this?
Yeah, like I have no idea what's happening anymore. Nothing in this movie is coherent.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I just got the sense, there was no political logic there. And then like these two people, I was like, I don't know why they're important, and they're certainly not American related political figures.
Right. And like the most incompetent bad guys of all time. Like they're just falling one by one till
they're absolutely terrible. I hate them. I hate those bad guys.
Yeah. Movladi, that's his name. Damn
it. Yeah, who's played by I mean, we got to bring it up, right?
Evan Leone.
Yeah, Evan Leone from New York. So Mulvadi is played by Evan Leone from New York.
Yeah. Yeah. Does not track. Terrible accent.
Yeah,
really bad work.
We'll let you, the listener, kind of put that all together and how.
Yeah, this movie sucks. It's a very post 9/11 movie.
Yes. No, that's a perfect way to sum it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So flashback, they're still in there.
This is what I love. Sorry, but like, the soldiers have terrible dialogue too. So thank God, at least it's not just the terrorists that have terrible dialogue. It's also the U.S. Navy SEALs who say, "Our mission was to come here and rescue these hostages. We can kill these guys any day." It's like, wait, that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, and I think this is also when that's when the two brothers, who we find out, right, Chris and Mike, they're brothers, but they're arguing this conversation right in front of everyone.
Right, exactly.
They're literally arguing over what the mission goal is in front of the villain who's holding a gun to the person they're trying to save.
Exactly. And this is when we find out why Mike sucks. Oh, now I know why Mike sucks. He gets the hostage killed.
Yep. Yeah, and I was like, I think that yeah, he just basically gets everyone killed. And they just kill everyone.
Yeah.
End of day.
Yep. End scene.
End scene. So that's basically just a quick flashback to why Chris, our main character, does not like Mike. By the way, Chris and Mike are brothers, actual brothers.
Right. Not actual in the sense that the actors are brothers, just in the movie.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to. Did I put too much emphasis on the actual there?
I think people will think that they were brothers.
Oh, yeah. No, not in real life. It's very hard to tell because they don't look.
They look nothing alike.
Nothing alike. Yeah, maybe mom was. All right. Anyway, so all right. So then we cut to random gun range with an old lady, Meredith, probably the best actor in this entire movie.
Sure.
I'm gonna throw it out there.
She's a gem. She's a real gem.
So we cut to now current time. Mike and some old lady shooting at a gun range. Mike is basically just now, he was, this apparently part of this elite badass Navy SEAL team. And now he's been relegated to gun range duty with old ladies.
Yep, exactly.
And Meredith is just shooting away, having a good time. And she's got some good lines.
She has some great lines.
She probably has the best lines, actually.
I mean, everything that she says is hilarious because she's a little old lady in the first place.
Yes. And it's a minute, 30 seconds worth of just awesome dialogue. So she basically just, she's cranking away and the shooting the target there. What she got? She's got make my day, motherfucker.
Yeah, I'll be just like Charles Bronson.
Make my day, motherfucker. It's pretty good. Don't want to get too cocky.
Well,
get it? What?
And then she follows it with "get it." That's a pun, which I hate.
Oh yeah. I was like, oh yeah, she had to explain it. Don't want to get too cocky. Get it? As she looks at the gun, and she's recocking, and she's like, cocky. That's a little pun there.
Yeah. Thanks, Meredith.
And then from the original conversation back at LA there in the house, Chris got the phone call. Hey, get your brother, pull your team together.
Yep.
Which actually really isn't all that clear in that conversation, but whatever, we're going to go with it. Now Chris shows up at the gun range,
right,
to recruit his brother to come to get together with, the team here.
Right. Which we don't know their brothers quite yet. And then
we still don't. Right.
Yeah. And this is where Russ, I know we talk about guns a fair amount. Neither of us are gun experts by any means.
We should do a gun range, New Hampshire. Let's go up there.
And that's the thing. So I do know a thing or two. I've been to a few gun ranges a few times, and this is what bothered me was these guys again are supposed to be Navy SEALs, and one of these guys was an actual Navy SEAL. According
to his IMDb.
Yes, and they're at the range, and they put the targets, I don't know, probably 40 feet away from them, right? It's not far.
No.
And we get Navy SEAL's brother here saying, you're going to need a scope if you're going to hit that. You're like, no, you don't. You're so close.
Yeah.
And then so that upset me first and foremost.
And then what did he say to him? He was like, I don't need a scope. Like the scope you have underneath your desk you're working behind. I was like,
Right, exactly. Yes,
that's
like,
such a complicated burn. Like,
yeah, like the scope you have in your drawer at your desk at the desk job you have.
at the desk job you're working at that you don't really like, and your wife doesn't even like you. How does that make you feel? Like,
They did a lot of exposition here because then it was also a lot of like, how's your family? Well, Trevor finally got off his training wheels, and
yeah, it was like it didn't do anything other than it didn't do anything. It didn't matter. Like, you didn't have to have this conversation. You could just have two brothers being like, I hate you, because we saw the flashback, you know?
right. And I love how Chris just cuts him off by shooting. Like,
Yeah.
it's so awkward in the movie.
Yeah, and he gets in this weird. I'm gonna throw like, again. We've talked, not gun experts, but he's just like, the way he's like, yeah, don't worry about it. And he starts shooting at the target, and he, like, the way he like squats down and gets in like position to shoot. It's just so awkward for the situation. It doesn't feel like it's like natural. It's just like,
Yep.
all right, here we go. Elbows out, you know, like settling in. It's like, isn't this supposed to be like a badass moment where you're like showing up your brother and you're really landing it?
Yeah. Everything sucks.
And then they end it with, you're a hothead, bro.
Chris saying that to Mike.
And that's where I was like, oh, they're actually brothers. But there is another thing they sneak in here, I think. Isn't this where, like, isn't there a bit of dialogue where, like, Chris he shits on Mike and he's like, yeah, you're a hothead, bro. And you get people killed like Dad did. Did you catch that?
They do say that a bunch.
Yes. And they say it a couple times the rest of the movie, but it doesn't matter.
No, they never bring it up again.
It's like, there's no point. You could just have him have shot someone, and that's enough.
Yep.
Now I'm curious about the prequel.
Yeah, you're just getting people killed all the time, just like Dad.
Just like Dad did.
Wait, I definitely would prefer that movie.
Yeah. Right. Where there's a movie that shapes a young man's life because he shot people he shouldn't have shot.
Yeah, and that's
a way more interesting movie.
Yeah, absolutely. And then they carry that into the next scene. And then never again. So in the next,
that's right. Because it's
we go to the bar then.
So much wasted time. So then, like, it cuts from there. We cut to the bar. We're inside of a bar, and there's Mike by himself drinking away his
who cares?
Whatever. Yeah, who cares? Like, it doesn't matter. What are you drinking away?
We haven't learned enough about the character to really care about his problems. So.
You're not. Yeah. What are you drinking away your encounter with your brother? Idiot.
Speaking of his brother, he shows up, right? Then he's talking about how, like, just like Dad, you got a man killed, and they're like have a very brief discussion, right?
No. What happens here? So Mike is at the bar drinking away, right?
A flashback?
No. He's at the bar. No, it's a voiceover.
Okay, right.
It is, and I understand why you thought, like, oh, Chris shows up.
I was like, wait, I just assumed Chris was there.
No, because it was literally, they do a shot of Mike at the bar drinking whiskey, being all hard, and there's like this girl who's like, hey, like kind of chirping on him. He's like, no. And he's like drinking his whiskey, and they do a voice over the conversation they just had in the last scene. And it's just like voiceover Chris literally saying the exact same thing he just said in the last scene.
So I
don't know. It's kind of like the guy you got killed, like Dad got killed. Like, he just said this.
I hate this.
I love that you thought Chris, the guy, was there. I was like, no, it was just.
It would have made more sense, I think.
We definitely would have, and they would have had a little more of a conversation and talked about Dad, but we don't need that because we don't need to talk about Dad. That's the indie film they're going to make. Yes. So we cut from the bar, and all right, so we got some type of tension between the two bros, actual brothers, Mike and Chris, and then we end up at the bro compound, as I called it. Basically just a warehouse with like fucking old Mustangs. And
is it a warehouse, or seems like it's a military base? Like, this is like a Navy SEAL base.
No, I don't know. I didn't get that at all, because I thought it was just like, this is where they hang out and they work out and drink protein drinks and read Socrates and have Mustangs in the background.
That's why I assumed it was work. I don't know.
Anyways, we're at the bro compound, whether it's Navy SEAL official or compound or not, but
Yeah,
It feels like they're off the record. It feels like they're like off the.
I hope so, because they get a lot of like real problematic things in the scene. I feel like
A ton of problems. Anyway, so we get to the bro compound. They're basically in like a garage, right? And this is where we meet the other two guys of the crew.
right. This is when we gather the gang, learn about Thorpe and his Latvian girlfriend.
And Thorpe, clearly with that name, he's the brains of the operation. He's the smart
Right.
guy.
Yeah.
Which we know this by because when they pan to him, he's sitting in a chair reading just Socrates.
Right.
He's reading Socrates.
Yeah. I'm gonna start referring to all of my brainy friends as Thorpes because
Thorpes. You're a Thorpe. You're a total Thorpe.
You're acting like a real Thorpe right now.
So it's like, oh, there's our smart guy. And then we pan to and we cut over to
Jonesy. Yeah, Jonesy.
Workout crazy guy who just,
drinking protein shakes constantly.
Loves his protein shake. That's very important, by the way.
And Jonesy's picking on Thorpe for his Latvian girlfriend, saying, "You're seeing some commie girl from buttfuck wherever." Like this movie, first of all, is rated, I think, TVMA, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't even know. I think it was not even rated, but yeah.
Yeah, I saw TVMA and I was like, oh, there's got to be some reason. They say fuck like 4 times. And I think that's
it.
That's where it gets its rating from. But
yep, like, that's probably it, because there's definitely no violence in this movie whatsoever.
Yeah, but like I don't understand why we're talking about some Latvian girl as a commie. Like that's pretty. I'm confused about the time period this movie set in, because I thought we were very post 9/11, and then all of a sudden I feel like we're in 1985.
Yeah, a little confusing. Maybe Jonesy's a little stuck in the past. I don't know. He's also a little homophobic too.
Oh, definitely, yeah. And then he yells at him and goes like, you might be the first Navy SEAL to die a virgin. And this is when I want to talk about the ages of these characters.
Yeah.
So Jonesy says that to
Thorpe, who looks like he's like 45, 50.
At least, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's in great shape. Thorpe is in great shape.
Sure.
We do have to talk about, I mean, let's also confer that Thorpe there is Scott C. Rowe.
How old is he in real life?
Well, Scott C. Rowe is also he's mainly a stunt guy.
Okay, so he is 50. Great, because he looks 50.
Yeah, I mean he looks like a great 50 though. I mean, hell, if I look like that when I'm 50, I'll be pretty happy.
Sure, we won't.
No, I mean he's very much in shape. We won't, but
you're 39 and you don't look like that right now. So
come on, man, Jesus.
I'm 31 and I don't look like that right now.
Yeah, well, no, we're not gonna look like that. I mean,
he's fit, but
yeah.
Everyone in this movie seems so old.
Yeah,
and they
so
like they're teenagers.
Yeah, like the conversation doesn't make any sense. I feel like they should be a little more hardened, like, older badass. Like that's fine to play up that whole like they're older badass like Navy SEAL team who's not really. They're not even. I don't even think they're Navy SEAls anymore. Like just kind of like it seemed like they were just like brought in randomly.
No, they're definitely still Navy SEAls. 100% they're Navy SEAls.
All right, so then we start
badmouth CIA.
Yeah, we start bad. Yeah, of course. It's always the CIA's problem. Whatever. Blah blah.
Have you ever heard this expression?
What's that?
Without one ball between them to hold up a joystick.
Without one ball between them to hold up a joystick.
Jonesy says that about this. He's talking about the CIA guys. Yeah,
no.
Those guys without one ball between them to hold up a joystick.
Nope. But there is a good back and forth between Jonesy and Thorpe there about the cocaine and artificial sweetener. That was one moment, and he kept turning the blender on like every time we talked. I was like, that's like something I feel like I would do. Yeah, and then they have their back and forth, and then I think just like the suits show up. Basically, I just called it the suits, like the CIA, whoever the men in charge, right?
Yeah, without one ball between them to hold up a joystick.
Yep. So they show up, and then it's pretty much just.
I mean, it's coming from the top. Like the CIA guys are making this clear. It comes from POTUS himself.
Yeah, this is coming from the POTUS all the way up.
And that's when I realized that Chris is the main character.
Right. Yep. Bunch of blah 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 exposition about we get the CIA guys come in and like CIA, yeah. Kind of like doing the classic, you guys are the most badass team ever, blah blah. And
Yeah,
then they're like, yeah, remember that time we saved the president's daughter?
awful.
Terrible.
And this is also when they start talking about how there's this base in the Caucasus region, right, where that nobody knows about since the Cold War. And I'm like, wait a second,
How would no?
how how have we maintained some base in like Azerbaijan for like 30 years that nobody knows about? Like,
No one knows about.
there's no possible way. Like they're showing drone footage. It's the worst footage I've ever seen. Like
Yeah.
everything about this base is so illegitimate.
And I also, it's a classic, like, so this is like the best team. They saved the president's daughter. And then there's always one guy, in a suit who's like, I don't trust you guys. We
Yeah,
take this more seriously. It's like, this is so.
And I like how they build them up to be this great team, but then at the same time, the
They're
CIA
terrible.
guy, right? Yeah, they're terrible, and the CIA guy knows they're terrible. Goes, yeah, I wanted to send professionals, but he chose you.
It's like you watch the two brothers argue, and it's so funny because like through the rest of the movie they argue like actual two brothers.
Yeah,
you guys are you're not on the same team here.
they have very good brother chemistry. I think of bickering brothers.
They definitely do, but it's like comical. It's absolutely comical. I will give credit to kind of quick reset. So we got just the three of the four. Mike is not there yet, right? And they're kind of getting this pre-debrief, and we got the CIA guys, and then Mike shows up. He's like, I don't know, he says something cheesy like, "Would you think I wouldn't let you, go out there by yourselves?" Whatever. He says something stupid like that. He shows up and was like, "Oh, it's Mike." And then Mike actually has a pretty funny line where like the CIA guys are just kind of like, they say pretty much everything their response is always like, it's classified, it's classified. So he's just like, so you're telling us you're sending us in a classified area to get some classified information that's classified, and what we find might be classified, but when we find it, we'll know it, but it's classified.
I hate this movie.
Not gonna have you dicking up the chain. That's how that ends.
Yep. Yeah. Good ending. So then we go to the mountains. We're in Valtovia Forest, the Caucasus. Does not exist.
No, it's not. It's not a true place. So there we are, helicoptering in to a not real forest in an actual real area.
Yeah, and this is where we get our first taste of alien vision, right? There's some other things.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
well, all right, yeah.
I don't care about most of the rest of the scene.
No, there's not much going on here other than like, all right, the bros land in a forest. They basically just go on a hike. So we get the four guys. They're on a hike. The Navy SEAL Team 6 guys there.
Doing like a photo shoot with their camo.
Yeah, they do this weird. Like they're like walking through the woods, and they get to like this perfect pose, and they're like screenshot, and they're like, all right, we're moving on. And then it's like, there
were a few times they did that.
There were definitely a few times they did that, and then it was like, okay, then they set up the whole splitting up, right? So you had the bros, the two brothers, Chris and Mike.
Yep.
Split up, and then you had Thorpe and Jonesy split up, and they were walking on a waterfall. Looked very nice. Looked very New Hampshire.
Well, we're not at the water. We saw the alien vision before the waterfall.
Oh yeah. Well, there's alien vision, which was very Predator-like. It was just this blue.
Yeah, distorted blue. Everything's weird, slow motion sounding.
Yeah, it's stupid.
But then we get to the waterfall. Yeah.
Yeah, we get to the waterfall. We got Thorpe, smart guy. He reads Socrates. He was explaining smart guy stuff to Jonesy,
and then says explicitly, "Nobody's on my level, if you know what I mean." And yeah. I was like, I have no idea what you mean. It's not the kind of expression you say if you know what I mean after.
Right.
Nobody's on my level, if you know what I mean.
No, I can't know what you mean because
what?
No, I'm not on your level.
Are you on drugs?
And they're just hunting around in the woods there, kind of getting towards so they're heading towards this. I guess we kind of missed this, but whatever, it doesn't matter. CIA guys gave them a bunch of like, hey, you got to go to this classified building in the middle of this forest. They're heading towards this building. And that's it. So they're walking through the woods and they get to the building, right?
Well, right before that, that's when they start talking about how they're big on conspiracies. I was kind of hoping, oh crap.
Who said that though? I remember that, but
I think it was Thorpe.
Yeah, of course it would be. Conspiracy blogs are always talking about dark science.
Yeah, dark science. I love dark science.
Yeah, great. Yeah,
What the fuck is dark science?
yeah. It's just not light science. Like,
It's just like defense against the dark art. Like it was like Harry Potter.
yeah,
Like, oh, particle splitting. And you're like, that's not. What do you think dark science is?
yeah. That's just science, right? I mean, I don't know.
You made me so mad.
Yeah. So they come up to the building, and it's fenced in.
The least secret base of all time. It's this huge building.
It's massive in the middle of this forest, fake forest. So yeah. So they walk up to this fence. They're like, all right, we got to go in. So it's the two brothers are on one side, and I think the other two, Jonesy and Thorpe, are on like another side, whatever. They split up, right? And the two brothers are like, all right, let's go in. They're pulling out bolt cutters, and they while they're pulling the bolt cutters, the fence line is at their eye line.
Yeah, it's like 5.5 feet, probably.
Yes, just climb over it.
Just climb over it. There's a lot of options. Also, though, I do like the promo for bolt cutters. I think we talked about it on the podcast before. Everyone should get bolt cutters. 2020 was a garbage year. 2021, who knows? You might need bolt cutters.
Bolt cutters. Yeah.
Shout out to big bolt cutters.
Just in case things get shitty, have some bolt cutters.
Don't buy them on Amazon.
Don't buy them on Amazon. Get them from your local shop. So yeah, that was.
Yeah, I like how they're describing this building, and like the one guy's looking at it, he goes, "Oh, the sign says it was a perfume factory. Only thing I smell is bullshit." The script of this movie probably nears the top for me of most quotes written down out of a lot of the movies we've seen. This one had some real gems.
Yeah, this one also had some gems though, like kind of like screenwriting 101 don't do's, which we'll get to. It was just like, wow, this is. Oh, we've got company. Ugh.
Yeah. I got eyes on what looks like some sort of lobby. What? You mean the lobby? You can see the lobby of the building. Just say you can see the lobby of the building.
It's the lobby of the building. Jesus. And then they do a quick, so just to let us know, they have some type of communication to a drone, right?
Right.
And they let us know that, like, there's a drone floating, overhead.
Yep.
It's stupid. It's a waste of time. It means nothing.
Yep.
I mean, I guess it kind of does later, but it's stupid. It's a stupid shot of a drone, which looks terrible.
Yeah, it doesn't help anything. But also, at this point, they're walking. They bolt cuttered their way through the fence here, and they're walking up to the entrance of the building. Why is the base overgrown? Like they said, this was abandoned / all of the scientists disappeared within a 3-minute span, is what they're saying.
Yep.
And it happened like a month ago, right? Like it's very recently, right? Less than a month ago.
Yeah. It's not like it wasn't like it was like 20 years ago.
No, and there's like grass growing over all the staircases, and
yeah, it makes no sense. No, makes no sense whatsoever. And then there's a great moment where they're still going through the fence to get into like the base area. And the two brothers, like right off the bat, are arguing like two like little kid brothers.
Yep.
And there was definitely a great line. There's multiple great lines, but I think Chris says to Mike, he's like, "Well, why don't you take your happy ass home?" It's a pretty good one.
Is that an expression?
I mean, it is now. Hey, Jared, why don't you take your happy ass?
Yeah, I'm gonna start saying that to people because apparently it means something. And then, like right before they go to head inside the building, they get a Geiger counter reading because it's near Ukraine. I don't know what the rationale is for that, but
I don't either.
Jonesy's taking the Geiger counter reading, right? And he goes like, "Yeah, it's slightly above normal, slightly below your dick's gonna fall off."
That's a better line than Humanity Bureau when they're trying to get into Canada, right?
Yeah. I guess so.
Where it didn't work and you just needed to swap it out with some AA batteries and be like, our Ramulans there.
Yeah.
So my first thought is these are the best. Here we go.
Yep. Here we go. Now we're going inside the base.
Inside the base. We have a little brotherly love argument. We're going to go in through the front door. And the brother's like, we should go in through the back door. It's like, dude, what is it?
Yeah. I'm getting Thorpe confused with Chris and Mike, I think, at certain points. They all kind of look the same to me.
Oh, yeah. Well, Mike and Chris are the brothers. Thorpe and Jonesy are the side guys.
And Thorpe and Chris have beards.
Thorpe and Chris have beards. Mike doesn't until later in the movie. Jonesy doesn't have a beard at all. He just likes his protein shakes.
Right.
So we get to the fence. They get into the building through the front door. They're doing their investigative journalism here, and they're like, "Whoa, not a lot of signs of struggle here. There's nothing going on. There's no one here."
And then I don't know if you caught this or complained about it like I did, but they're just standing in the lobby,
Yes.
like waving their flash, and like
Yes.
for probably like 20 to 30 seconds, maybe.
Yes.
You're like, wait, did somebody forget a line?
Yeah, it was like there was a weird moment of like the four of them walked in and just like
It's just silent.
they're just silent. They're just hanging out. Was someone supposed to speak here? You guys, in terms of like a squad, you're all standing upright. You're all standing in the same spot. And if there was anyone in here, they would just shoot you all for you.
Yeah, and I assume this might have been the same kind of like posing moment, maybe where I don't know. There's somebody taking a picture for promo purposes.
Yeah, we didn't see it.
Probably Steven Seagal. He's like, "Oh, Action House Pictures will love this."
Yeah, it's a great shot. So they're in there. They're kind of dinking around. And then Chris is like, "All right, let's split up to clear the building because that's what you do in these situations."
Of course, always split up.
Always split up. They split up to go down different hallways. Doesn't matter. And they start coming across what I described as piles of dust poop.
Yep, little tiny piles of ashes that are very neat.
Yeah, like
they're like perfect pyramids of ashes.
Yes, they're OCD pyramids of like.
Yeah. And I think it's Jonesy that says, "I signed on to kill terrorists, man, not kill ghosts." It's like, wait, what? This isn't that kind of movie.
Yeah, and my first thought was those are humans. Oh, the piles of dust were human.
Immediately, yeah. I immediately assumed this is vaporized people.
Yes. Pretty much. Turn into dust. So then, so they find the dust of people, blah, blah, and they're walking in the hallways, two separate groups.
Wait,
Chris keeps... What?
Is Stay Frosty military lingo?
I don't know.
You say military lingo, Stay Frosty. I just think it's an annoying thing that they say a couple times.
Well, I don't know. Because we both wrote down, like, he's right.
Like they're in the middle of something. It doesn't make any sense for him to say "Stay Frosty."
Yeah, like I don't know. It sounds like maybe it might be some type of lingo they caught. Like, hey, stay cool, stay aware, stay frosty. I don't know. I feel like I've heard it before. I'm also like, it feels like it's like the only military lingo. That's why I put like military in quotes. It was like,
oh yeah.
Or is this just movie military lingo? Which I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And it's like, let's just keep saying this. And he says it like 3 times. It's irritating.
Yeah, and like that. Well, that's before they get to 3/4 of the way through the movie when they start saying "hoo-yah" every 5 seconds. We get it, David B. Meadows. You were a Navy SEAL.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, like come on.
You're contributing. Man. I get it.
I still don't believe you guys. So they're scrolling through this research building facility there, and then become Jonesy and Thorpe, smart guy and protein shake guy. They come into a room and there's a whiteboard with all like symbols on there.
Yeah,
a rival like symbols, if you will.
Sure. Or what's the Code Breakers movie there recently with
Code Breakers?
Nope. The one who's like a closeted gay guy who gets sterilized by the government. Alan. Damn it. Did you not see this movie with Benedict Cumberbatch? Yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch in the Imitation Game. Yeah.
Imitation Game, yes. Didn't it have Natalie Portman in it?
Yeah, Keira Knightley. The
same thing.
Yeah, body double.
Body double. Tied it back to Star Wars.
Yeah. I did get Star Wars. Thank you.
Please take my body double. She will escort you down to Tatooine. Ugh, God.
So I'm 90% sure that's what they were referring to when they were like, oh yeah, maybe they were code crackers like in that movie. They were talking about Imitation Game for sure.
No, that's a stretch.
No way.
You're giving them way too much credit.
Imitation
That's
Game,
like you tell me all the time, like I give them too much credit. This is you. That's a stretch.
I don't know. What movie were they talking about? What code breaking movie were they talking
about? My first thought was Arrival. That's why I thought your It's This Meets That was perfect.
No, this guy. All right. You're giving me too much credit.
Yes. I think we have given ourselves too much. All right, we'll move on. All right, this ain't no code. It's a like language.
Yeah, it's like Imitation Game meets
Arrival meets Predator.
This ain't no code. It's a language. It's a great line and a horrifying line.
It's a good line. Meets Power Rangers. Okay, so we're moving on. So
we cut to the Northeast sector with the boys.
This ain't no code. It's a language. All right. So then, we end up in the east side.
Yep. And there's a scientist. This is when we find our actual hero.
Yes.
Isabella.
Yes.
We don't know that yet.
We don't know that yet. So we got Jonesy and Socrates hanging out. Right. Thorpe doing their thing, and then we get the two brothers who keep getting pitted together and keep arguing. It's great. It lasts the entire movie. It's so funny. And they come across someone who's in a refrigerator, kind of just like tossing things out of a refrigerator like a mad person.
Spilling milk everywhere.
As we know, Jared and I are not fans of people drinking milk out of the carton. If you listen to our episode about the tall man.
Oh, yeah, actually, so quick correction on the last episode. I know two people who drink milk, Matt and Nicole.
What?
Yep, I know two people, and...
Are they listeners? They're constant listeners?
Yeah, Nicole's listened to a couple episodes, I think, and Matt has listened to at least one now.
Hey, chime in the comments if you think that... Do we have comments? Can people comment somewhere?
You can comment on something. Comment on Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, figure it out. I don't know.
Yeah. Go send us a review somewhere. And Sam... my sister's fiance there drinks out of the carton like a clown.
That's not. No.
Shout out to Sam. Love you, but don't drink out of the carton.
Don't know you. Don't approve.
So yeah, milk cartons are big to us. They're very important to us.
Yes. Be reasonable. There's other people in the household.
Money laundering, milk carton, John Travolta. Those are the three most important things to us.
Yes, that's it. All right, let's move on past that because we'll be stuck in that and then it's gonna be too long. So, all right, so we got someone in a lab suit and mask, whatever, and they're just tossing stuff out of this refrigerator.
Then they go to run away. Like, why would they run away if they don't have anything to hide?
Well, the funny part about this whole thing is so we have two Navy SEALs who are like sneaking up on this person. Yep. And I was like, I'm pretty sure Navy SEALs are pretty fucking badass.
I've heard that.
And this guy is just like, hey, excuse me, what are you doing?
Hey, excuse me.
Hey, hello. What are you doing over there?
Please and thank you.
Please, thank you. Can you not spill the milk? Can you not drink out of the milk carton, please? If it was Jared and I, we just shot the person because we were like, you're drinking out of the milk carton, are you?
It's a murderable offense.
You're done. And then they look at them and the person in the refrigerator looks at the two Navy SEALs, Mike and Chris, and they just start running. And I was like, well, Lab Geek 1, Navy SEALs 0.
Until 2 seconds later when...
Yeah, 2 seconds later, the other two guys, bros, catch the running Lab Geek.
Yeah, in seconds.
So then we cut to... and a little quick interrogation thing, interrogating the person in the suit. We don't know what's going on. And then take off the mask and hair flows down like it's supposed to, and it's Brazilian top model Larissa
Andrade.
I
don't remember anymore.
It says it's Isabella.
Yeah, Isabella the character.
Isabella the character. And then there's like a little like okay. So this was the thing I didn't get was like this whole situation was just weird.
Yeah, so I really like how she speaks in Portuguese a bunch.
Yes. Yes. And she's wearing a DuPont patch, by the way. Did you catch that?
No, I didn't catch it.
It's like sitting right there. It's like, it just says something stupid. And it says DuPont right above it.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
No, she speaks Portuguese a bunch. And it took us a second. Tace was in the other room when we were watching it. And she goes, was that Portuguese? And I was like, I don't know. Yeah. She looks kind of Brazilian.
Yeah. Brazilian top model.
Yep. And then next thing you know, So the all right, one thing I want to call out here
Do it.
when she's speaking Portuguese, and the guy's like, what are you even doing here?" And she goes, "Well, what in Portuguese?" She says, "Sun research."
Hmm.
But it seems like with her follow-up statement, it should have been something more like soil research, which I don't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like confusing mixed messages. She's definitely Brazilian. She should know better than, but maybe she doesn't know soil research is not. So I don't know. I'm confused by all of it.
It's also kind of weird because she's wearing like this, like a gas mask thing, like that, so that to say that there's something in the air.
Right? Yeah.
And
Well,
the four Navy SEALs just walked in the building and they're like, "Don't worry about it, it's fine."
yeah. Everything's fine. Everything's cool.
Like, you don't have to wear that. It's like, wait, you guys just walked in here. How do you know it's not what? You don't know it's okay.
And then we get another example of like I could have written a probably slightly better script of uh, introducing the cast to our new research scientist here.
Yes.
Like, oh, this is Jonesy. He's an awesome medic. I was like, way to be descriptive.
Yeah. And then like the whole situation was like, oh man, he's the medic. And then he went down. He was like, just look at this. And he flashed a flashlight in her eyes and he put like a little stethoscope to her chest and was like, I was like, no, don't say it. Don't say it. He's like, she's good, boss. She's fine. What? No. What?
Good.
Have any of you ever seen Alien? What? No. So that was all weird. That was pretty weird. And it's weird in action.
She says she's going to go show them what happened to the people in the lab. Because the guys are obviously immediately saying, hey, what happened to the other 100 scientists that were here?
They were here. No one's here. Yeah.
Right.
So then they all hop in an elevator.
Yep.
And this is when we get the first elevator joke, which I'm going to hang on to it. I think it's kind of funny.
Makes me furious. Go on.
There's an elevator and there's like 5 of them all standing there. And there's just some really like aggressively good elevator music.
Sure. As far as elevator music goes, it's nice.
Yeah.
However, have you ever been in an elevator with elevator music?
Yes. You not?
Not often. It's far more frequent that I'm in an elevator with no sounds at all.
I think elevator music is usually in department stores, hotels, and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it feels anachronistic to me almost. Like I've been in a lot of hotels that don't like, and that's another thing that kind of set me.
It wouldn't be in a research facility out in the middle of nowhere, Caucasus, the Latvian. Yes. Okay, I buy that. I'm on board.
Yeah, it made me super angry, and especially because it became a plot point.
It became a comedic plot point. It wasn't important to the actual plot, but it was like kind of funny thing they kept bringing back.
Right. It was the only funny thing in this movie. Everything made me mad.
It was bad. All right. Anyway, so whatever. There's elevator music, dear listener, that Jonesy starts kind of head bobbing to. And there's a moment where everyone just looks at him. It was like, all right, it's fine. It's fine.
And we're following our Brazilian supermodel down here into the dark lab. I like how they just, everything that they trying to make into something mysterious or interesting in this movie, they just say dark. Like, oh yeah, well, it's dark science that they're probably doing in the dark lab. Okay, sure.
Yeah, man, that's how that works. You do dark science in the dark labs, man.
Right. And gives a little credibility when Isabella says, well, if I show you this, I can go to prison for the rest of my life.
It's all bad. So basically, they're down in the far basements of the lab there. Super secret, double secret room.
Yep.
She says this. It doesn't make any sense because she just watched everyone die. So jail means nothing.
Right.
That's what annoyed me about that. She was just like, if I let you in here, I could be in jail.
So many people have died around you.
Yeah, like everyone you know and work with have died. Why would you care about jail?
Yeah, I think I'd be pretty rattled about that.
Like, who's gonna put you in jail when you just watch everyone die? Right. Anyways, and they walk in the room, and there's a room, and it's whatever stupid sealed up room, kind of not really. And there's a giant shard kind of looking thing, which they called the device.
Right, the device, the object,
whatever
it is, but the key things that Isabella keeps pointing out to us are we must always withhold assumptions on the origin of the device.
Oh my God.
And it becomes like a trope in itself in the movie of
Yes.
just over and over again, like, oh, well, we can't know about anything about the device. Like, who knows how it got here? We can't assume anything. And then they proceed to assume everything.
Everything. From this point on, there's so many assumptions about everything, about like what the device is, what these aliens are, why they're here, what they're doing. It sets all their decisions in motion. And it's just like, you're just making up theories and going with it.
Right. And then we get, I appreciate from Jonesy, we get, can you say that again in Bill Nye level science? I love Bill Nye level science. And that's the same time when she's talking about how, oh, well, it's just a theory that it came from space. And you're like, wait a second, you literally just said we're not supposed to make any assumptions about the origin. And you're like, oh, well, it probably came from space. Yeah. And that's when we get the quick flashback to when everyone got vaporized into little piles of ash.
Yep. So we get the quick flashback, like when the CIA came in. I think right. Is that what she said? The CIA
seemingly, yeah.
Whatever. A couple of 3 idiots came in. They blasted a little laser beam at the shard or whatever the device was. And they basically just put out a shockwave that went through the entire building and turned all humans into poopy dust.
Yeah, and the look on the scientist.
How did she survive, by the way? She said she's like, I just got lucky. It's like, what were you in?
They didn't really explain that. They just kind of.
She just said I got lucky.
Yeah, she says I got lucky. She was in, I think, a certain room or area. It didn't make a whole lot of sense. And the look on the main scientist's face when he got vaporized was priceless.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's super unclear why she didn't get vaporized. Like, they didn't explain that at all. As soon as they figure that out, how everyone's getting vaporized by this object, I love Chris saying pucker factor's high right now. And I almost use that as the quote for the lead in.
That's pretty solid. That's pretty solid. Yeah, and then this is when shit gets kind of real. And you get another shitty line. This is above my pay grade from Jonesy, but yeah. It's just like, oh my God.
This is when it starts to, I have a feling we're going to be a lot faster the rest of this because.
Yeah, we're going to move quick because this gets decidedly more terrible.
Yeah.
So, what do you got?
Well, I was going to say, so we go outside then and we're checking on the radio situation because the communications seem to be down everywhere, right?
Of course.
And we get the nice line here from Thorpe, I think. It's quiet as the Western Front, which. I'm reading into a lot, but I'm sure you're familiar with All's Quiet on the Western Front.
I read the book.
It's a really dark book, right? Like, it's talking about, World War I aside, but like getting home and trying to reintegrate with German society after, like, it's a really heavy book.
Yeah, like,
and it's like a throwaway line, like, oh yeah, you know how quiet the Western Front is. Very quiet.
Very quiet.
I don't care.
No, I don't either. Pick a better line.
Yeah.
So Thorpe's on the roof doing laptop shit because he's trying to reconnect to the tower up there to get communication out because they have no communication going, right?
Some kind of techno wizard.
Of course, obviously.
This is when the object starts doing something.
Yeah, and the two brothers are arguing with each other, whatever, and then device starts devising.
Right. Like, they definitely sunk all of the budget of this movie into making the graphics for the device because it, like,
yes,
it floats around, Mandalorian, the child crib style.
Yeah.
It also has all kinds of like VR shapes over it. It's cool. It's like, it's the coolest thing in this whole movie.
I mean, let's set a benchmark for all the listeners. When Jared says that,
it's very low. It's a very low bar.
Very low bar. But within the throes of this movie, it's the coolest thing. And so this is all happening. I'm sure if we described anything that was actually happening, but yeah, the device is devising. We got things going on there. Thorpe is on the roof. And then we get Mike saying the classic line. I think it was Mike who said the classic line yet again. We've got company.
Yeah, this is when they discover they're under attack,
Yes.
which I love so one of my least favorite things I think about the movie industry is like you can pretty much pay anyone to say anything. So
Yes.
the US government pays out tens of millions of dollars every year to do military propaganda. Any movie that the US military is in, like the actual US military has some kind of consulting on that like
Absolutely.
does a like a
Every
it's
Michael Bay movie ever made.
exactly, it's good propaganda, like that's a known factor in the US military industrial complex, right?
Yes.
And like this movie is the same, and that's what I was like, wait, this is one of those like this is like the shittiest movie, and at the same time they're like, oh, whatever country we're in doesn't even have an air force, like US Air Force.
Yeah, but like I don't even think like there's no way I think
Is there? You're thinking small. You're thinking small.
you might be right. I'm gonna bite my tongue there. All right, so here we are. We are at a moment of catastrophe. Things are amping up. We've got Thorpe on the roof. We've got the two bros who can't quite figure out who's in charge. Jonesy's just trying to be Jonesy. He wants a protein shake. Brazilian model is just keeps researching.
Yep. Thorpe thuds on the roof. He's actually under attack. Like there's
Oh yeah,
bad stuff going down.
100%. Shit is raining down on him, and things are getting crazy. But I don't know. I think
I think it's the perfect. I was gonna say I think it's the perfect time to end the episode, and we'll be back in your ear holes on Thursday.
It's a perfect time to dash all of your hopes that we would have a shorter episode. How does that make you feel?
Exactly. So thank you for listening. We'll be back on Thursday. And in the meantime, you can follow us on Instagram at It's This Meets That. We're ITMT Pod on Twitter.
And if you're feeling old fashioned, send us an email at itsthismeetsthat@gmail.com. As always, you can find us on all of our episodes at itsthismeetsthat.com. Thanks for listening, and hopefully you'll check in on Thursday.